Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing your daily Walking Dead video for today. In this one, we're going to start with rating this half season, so the second half of The Walking Dead Season 7. Where is the hype at? What is the rating on the hype scale? And spoiler warning for this Q&A if you guys aren't caught up for Walking Dead. So this one came from Trevschanrules. He says, "Hey Trev, how excited are you for Walking Dead on a scale from 1 to 10? I would be a solid 9 for this half." So, me personally, there's been some ups and downs, some violence-related stuff going on, and, with the show and that. So that kind of brought it down a bit for me. We had the recent kind of look trailer, which was pretty cool. We got to see Daryl get the crossbow back. We got Carol getting, some arms back and getting ready to fight, it looks like. So, I'm pretty hyped for this half. Definitely not the most ever, but, not like terrible either. I'd say maybe a 7.5 out of 10. So if you're a 9, I'm happy for you. And I know some of you guys are. I'm like a 7.5 out of 10. So, I'm decently hyped. I'm excited for it. I'm pretty excited, but I'm not at kind of the season premiere level before we saw the double death, or maybe at this time last year before No Way Out. But that was because it was No Way Out, and we knew we were going to see one of the best episodes ever, which was also, of course, directed by GreekJr. So he really has directed some of the best episodes in all The Walking Dead. And I have to say he's my favorite director at this point. Somebody pointed out in the comments yesterday that he didn't do any directing before The Walking Dead, at least so far as I know. I haven't seen much. But either way, I don't care. His episodes that he does are like the best of The Walking Dead ever. So, he's directed like a lot of the top episodes for me as a viewer. So, I don't care. And I am excited to see his episode, which is the season premiere, of course, this Sunday. Can't wait for it. 7.5 out of 10 for me on the hype scale. So, decently hyped. GreekJr ChrisifiX says, "What's up, Trev? Brother to brother, which chick looks better, Maggie or Rosita?" They're both hot chickies. Hashtag strike a pose. Keep up the great work, man. So, good question from Greek. I think it depends on the season. Of course, there's a question for the guys. Maybe we can do an updated top 10 hottest chicks right now. It depends on the season. That's a tricky one. Most seasons I go with Maggie, but I think maybe this year Rosita could take it this year. It makes sense. And then we had an interview with Sneakwood Martin Green, who of course plays Sasha. So I'll put the link in the description for you guys for that. From Negan, the effing awesome psychopath, sent it to me. And here are some of the quotes from the interview. So we probably won't do too many more of these leading up to the the premiere this Sunday. But if we get any other good ones that have some good info in it, then we will. It says, "We've all come together, and that's a beautiful thing." She told Entertainment Weekly, "It took us a long time to get back together, and everybody's been on their separate paths of really self-discovery and also figuring out how we're going to move forward. How do I fit in this new world?" We've all been on our own separate paths doing that, and I think that the first half of the season was such an arduous one. It was so painstaking, trudging uphill, trying to figure this new world out. And so I am in similar mindset that everyone else is. We realize that we are conquerors, and we've made it. We've made it back together, and that's victory enough to give us some pep in our step, So I'm ready to see what we can do together, and I've never taken my eye off of Negan. I know what I believe needs to be done, and I'm ready to see if we can come up with a plan that will work together. Much easier said than done, and I, as Sasha, have no tolerance whatsoever for anyone who's going to stand in the way or impede our process or progress. So I have a particular disdain for Gregory. She said it's like when I was talking to Maggie and said he's an idiot, and she said, "No, actually, he's a coward. That's more dangerous." And there's been some talk about, who's going to betray the group, this kind of thing. Gregory, I've never really seen Gregory as part of the group, so I kind of expect for him to betray the group. And I think Maggie's right in this case. And I do like that line, he's a coward, that's more dangerous. Then it says, "And so this is someone who has no backbone, who acts out of fear, and that's someone who is not a team player, who cannot be trusted, who you can't link yourself up with because he's not going to be dependable, and he might break teams. He might hinder the mission, so I have very little respect for him. Actually, I have no respect for him." So that's definitely going to be difficult in my mind to get him on board, even to understand what we're doing, and beyond that, contribute to what we're doing. So yeah, I mean, for this one too, because Sasha is actually at the hilltop currently with Maggie, so she's got to deal with Gregory more than some of the others. So you can definitely see that from her perspective. And then she says, I don't want to say that's a fool's errand, but I think to me it seems virtually impossible. And then with anyone else, it's going to be tough because there's politics, like you said, and there's people's intentions, and there's people's hearts, and there's people's courage. Where is this person in terms of that? How willing are they to go into battle and sacrifice themselves for the greater good? Where's your courage meter at? And Gregory, in my opinion, is at 0. So probably looking forward to seeing some stuff this half with Gregory. Maybe he'll be the one to betray the group and Sasha will try to kill him or something of the sort. I mean, she's really just speaking as the actress playing the character, so she's speaking as herself, giving her thoughts on how Sasha would probably feel about Gregory. So it does sound like we'll probably see him kind of flip on the group maybe in the premiere, and that Rick and the others will, address him again and ask him if we're going to go ahead with fighting back against Negan. He'll probably be, go for it, and then maybe he turns back on them later. Maybe Sasha chase him or something like that. We'll have to see how that goes and how that all plays out. But still, for me, for death predictions, again, not spoilers, because I haven't been reading spoilers since the summer, even before the summertime, really. And I haven't seen any of this half in comments, which has been really good. But I still have done the death predictions video in the channel, if you guys haven't seen it, that I think Sasha may be the one of our deaths near this finale, or it could be next year in season 8. So we'll see. But I do think that Sasha might be killed off. So pretty cool to get to hear an interview from Sneak with Martin Green, because if I'm right and she is killed off, then, it kind of makes it more meaningful. So we'll see if Gregory has something to do with that, which would explain why she focuses on him quite a bit in this interview. Lauren Cohan has revealed her favorite comic book villain is the Joker. Thoughts, Trev? Well, I mean, smart, of course. She was in Batman v Superman, which is pretty cool. And it's really smart. The Joker is pretty much the best. I mean, for most of us, the Joker's our favorite comic book villain. Negan's pretty awesome, too. And I did a review for the Here's Negan Part 10. If you guys missed that, it's in the channel. Josh Giles says, hey, Trev, how are the guinea pigs doing these days? So they're doing pretty good. We got 2 left. They don't live that long, unfortunately. Sometimes they only live 4 years, 3 years. It's just the type of animal they are. My favorite one, unfortunately, died, around season 7, episode 7. So, back in November or early December. So that kind of sucks. But I still have the other 2, and the female one may be pregnant. So we'll see. If she is, then we might have even more. So we'll see. But, they're fun. They're fun little pets to have. And I can't do dogs with the channel because they're too noisy. And I can't deal with that when I'm trying to film and stuff. Cats are nice. I had cats all throughout my childhood, so maybe one day we'll get a cat. So we'll see. But for now, we got them, and then we got the rabbit, and it's a dwarf rabbit, really cool, really nice, great pet, and we've got a hamster for a while. He's getting old, though, too. Matty Ocampo says, Trev Q&A, do you think Negan will punish Dwight for letting Daryl escape, and he will eventually turn on Negan? I'd love to hear your thoughts. So you would think that Negan would want to punish Dwight, yeah, and we're probably going to see the start of that in the premiere episode of Dwight. I think Dwight's going to leave. I don't think Dwight's going to stay. And I think it would make sense for him to leave. I think that would be natural for him to want to get the hell out of there, because he'd be so scared of Negan for what Negan has done prior that he's either going to try to go capture Daryl again, get the hell out of there, or maybe just leave. If he can't capture Daryl, maybe not come back, because it's going to hurt a lot if he does. Maybe get the other half of his face burned or something. Joel Humphreys says, when do you think we'll get a trailer or at least a teaser for Season 3 of Fear the Walking Dead? So for Fear, that's a good question. Probably close to the end of this half. So maybe after episode 4 or 5, you could start to look at us getting close to a trailer. Last year, I think it was about that time frame. So before this season of Walking Dead ends, we should get a trailer. They did just start filming pretty recently, like within a couple of months or a month or so. But we should get some kind of teaser or trailer before this season ends, and then hopefully we can see Fear Season 3, fingers crossed, start after The Walking Dead ends. That's really what I want to see. after 9 or 10 weeks from now. So we'll see. Scott W says, if you had to compare which is better, which do you think is the better season 4B or season 7A? That's a really good question. So 4B had some good stuff in it. It had the Grove, it had Claimed, it had A, which was the finale. It really was like a new building of a new story up to a climax of the finale, and then a cliffhanger into the next season. So there was also some, but it wasn't so much like a cliffhanger, like it was all just cliffhanger, because you had Joe's group in there too, which was pretty good for that kind of half season. Was a pretty good storyline to go through. So that's really tough to compare, because season 7 starts out with one of the best episodes ever, and then it kind of goes from there a little bit slower, but then it ends strong with 7 and 8, episodes 7 and 8 being really good. 4B has some good episodes throughout, like The Grove, Claimed, and then finishes strong as well too, building to another story. So they have some similarities. I think it depends on what you like, which part you're more into The Walking Dead for. Maybe I'll go with season 7 liking it better, the first half, because 4B, because Negan is there, because they have Negan, and that was such a huge thing, and getting to see him first appearance and everything. As a comic book fan, probably. If I wasn't a fan of the comics and I was just watching the TV show by itself, maybe you could go with 4B, but I don't know. 4B has some good things in it too, like The Grove and that, like I said. So it's up to the viewer, really. Me, I'll go with season 7. I like better because the first half, even though it was kind of a little bit weak, I still liked it better because Negan's here. So, that's such a huge thing to look forward to. Last one will be from Renardo Collier, who says, Trev Q&A, do you think Dr. Carter will reunite with his brother? You mean Carson, not Carter. Yeah, so there's two Dr. Carsons. There's Dr. Carson at the Hilltop, and then Negan has his own Dr. Carson, who's his brother. So I think I wonder if he yanked him from the Hilltop. I would think that's probably what happened, is he probably stole one of their doctors. So two brothers that are doctors, do you think they'll be reunited? I'd say probably not. I mean, I think this is The Walking Dead, and one of them will probably die before they get to see each other again. So, plus, doctors are not going to be out there in the field. Doctors are going to be well protected behind walls and everything. So, I think that probably, Hilltop Carson, Harlan? He'll probably survive, and then the other one will probably be killed off in the next couple of years at some point. So we'll see. But I don't. So to answer your simple question, no, I don't think they'll ever be reunited. And if you guys like this video today, please don't forget to thumb it up below. You can also share, you can favorite, and if you're new and you want to subscribe, bottom left, just subscribe. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you again soon for another. It's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.